When I go out in the street, I hear opinion, different views about what people think about BLM. But some are quite amazing to hear, but some are out of the context and the representation of BLM. If you ask me, I will say Black Lives Matter is not just about Noah or Floyd. It is more about breaking the systematic racial structure that is embedded into the Western institutions, which has been widely practiced and continue to play a crucial role in the Western organization. Black Lives Matter is more about changing the system that has for decades held certain people hostage to their destiny. Black Lives Matter is more about confronting the historic police brutality, racial inequality, and injustice against people of color. Black Lives Matter is certainly not about we now. It is more about the future.
The party getting serious. Set up 1 2 1 2. Can I accept?
And the recent development has been happening in Europe for the past months. We all know about the issues of George Floyd and the other issues affecting the black continent. I mean, black people entirely. So that's exactly why we gathered here today. We need to talk about a little bit about our own perspective and issues affecting us here in the diaspora. So that's why everybody is here today. So everybody here you see on this podcast here today, they are all from different countries in Africa. That's to tell you exactly how unity we can be, how united we are. So even though our continent is a little bit having difficulties in trying to unite our individual nations, but we try to show our people, and we continue to try that we are united, whatever it is. So on my right hand side is Bismarck. Don't worry, we cut up. Welcome to the show, Bismarck. And Osman from Gambia, and Ike from Nigeria, and Jean from Republic of Cameroon. Welcome to the show. On the first issue today is Black Lives Matter, guys. A big smart. What do you think about why is it now that people are waking up and people are demonstrating, like more than 60 countries has taken the issue of Black Lives Matter? It has never happened before in the history of the civilization of mankind. I mean, why do you think that people are now so interested of Black Lives Matter?
What I would say is, first of all life matters. All life matters, and with that perspective, we should know that if all life matters, then it means that everyone matters. And if everyone matters, then why then should there be a discrimination between ourselves as we all sit here? Like you said, we come from different places, different part of the earth. I'll even put it simple, different part of the earth. Yeah. So to see oneself as superior to the other is, I would say, it's hazard. Yeah. That's the word, and it's poisonous. So I believe that all life matters. That is what I would say from the start. All life matters. But I will talk about Black Lives Matter because of what I have felt. Mm-hmm. Probably one will ask that where are your evidence? But that I'll go into later. In this country, you cannot believe that when they are even counting, they don't count race. Okay? Race is not counted in this country. When they are taking census, race is not counted. And it's because of the Holocaust. They see that you don't need to count someone based on his ethnicity.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's bad.
Somehow.
It's bad in the sense that it means that you are not even noticed.
Are you saying that after the Holocaust, so the Germans now recognize the Israelis, the Jews? Those are the only ethnicity that's been recognized apart from other ethnicity that were living out. Of course, there were a lot of ethnicity that were living in Germany even before the First or the Second World War. But the Holocaust is what happened in the Holocaust. How many Jews that were slaughtered? So now, are you now saying because of the Holocaust that the Germans now recognize only the Jews and they have not recognized other ethnicity that are actually living in their territory?
No, the point is this.
Okay.
Here is either you're German or you're not.
Okay. Mm-hmm. How do you mean?
It's either you're German or you're not. And the point is, all are Germans.
Okay.
All are Germans. That's the perspective. Like, there is no segregation that this one is from here, this one is from there. So in Germany, right now, if you're to ask of a statistical component of the black population, or statistical component of this kind of, let's say, Asians, or statistical component, you are not going to get it. The point is this, that they see, when they are taking the census, you take your name, they will only take what I would say that your parents, where your parents come from. For instance, to give you the statistics, I don't want to more like hijack this conversation, but to give you the statistics, 1 million black, we have 1 million black, approximately 1 million black population in this country.
Okay.
There is this lady who wanted to open a shop, a beauty salon, and she wanted to get the statistics of the black community in Germany, so as to make a good proposal to the bankers and investors, so that they will know that she has a market for what she's going to, and she can get it. She has to find another way of getting it. So what I'm trying to say is that here all are Germans, but because there is no statistical, I would even put it, because there is no systematic way of measuring the black community, when you say you are being treated as a black, the question is, where is your evidence?
Wow.
This is nice talk. The way you explain it is very nice, simple. But there's something I want us, we black, to tell ourselves these days. We've come to a very fast and digital age that we shouldn't be looking at what the system is doing. We should be looking at what we want, what we need to do to be better off the system and outbeat the system.
Okay.
Because I notice one problem with we Africans, we're always complaining about what is happening to us. Okay. But we don't come to ask, how do we solve this? How do we get this off our way?
So that it wouldn't happen
So
again.
you don't let it repeat itself. You understand? So we talk about the Black Lives Matter of a thing. Yeah, it's a nice thing, it's a great one. But the goals, that's what we need to think about. What is the goals of this thing? Is it active? Is it just something that will come up a few years and it's gone?
Officially now, we're not, there's no protest like the way it was like last 2 months ago. There's no protest going on. The Black Lives Matter is not even the mainstream anymore now.
Yeah, and you know what? Let me add something to what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, it's like how to improve upon the system, right? Do you know the only black guy in the Buddhist, yeah. Buddhist.
I think he's a Senegalese. Is he still there?
Yeah, he's the second.
Yeah, from Hanover, I think so.
He got elected in 2013, right? And he shared a story. Like you're saying, we should find a way of improving it, right? And he's in an attempt of improving the system. Yeah. He decided to go to where the laws are made, so that he can really make a good impact, right? Good. Do you know he said that on his first day, When he was entering, the one at the cafeteria said, no, not you. When he was entering, what? The guy, he told him, no, not you. Why? Because from the look, the person perceived that, no,
you're not elected.
You can't be here.
Oh.
You get it? And when he said, when he heard that, it's like, I would say that it's a way that we have also portrayed ourselves. It's a two-edged sword. It's not like it's one way where you say that you're being pushed down. When you're being pushed down, you also have to lift up your head.
You have to lift up yourself.
Yeah, there's one lady also on a TV station. She's called Jana or something. She's the only, I would say, the black lady. And she shared a story that growing up, she's given games and books like 10 Little Negroes and those kind of things. So it's like how when the child is being raised up, how the child is sighted.
Yeah. They try to confuse you, even
It's
from the
also
teenage
counts.
days.
But I would say that it's all about we doing our best. In the midst of all the challenges, it's all about we doing our best. I believe in statistics because I'm a maths guy.
Okay.
I'm a maths engineering guy. So in this year, there have been 1,200 racist complaints.
Wow.
Let me give you the statistics here.
Wait.
I'm going to give you all the statistics.
Where do you get it from?
I do my homework. This is the show, so I thought of best that it beside everything it ought to be also informative.
Yeah.
So I give the data. Let's look at the data here. And your mind is you're going to think, let's check from just a minute. In 2015, the German Federal Anti-Discrimination Agency, the ADS, said that there are 545 cases of racial complaint. This is a confirmed figures. That is as of 2015. In 2019, it has increased to 1,176 cases.
Wow. Tremendous.
Yes, but the pathetic part of it is that they could only deal with 33% of this case. So 33% of the case of 1,176 cases amounts to 389 cases, which is not even out the figure in 2015. So you then ask yourself that these are only the cases that have been reported.
Yeah, these are reported ones.
What about those that are
Not reported.
Well, I
Yes.
would like to talk now. I will start from where you started.
Yeah.
Like, every life matters. And that's the truth. When we say every life matters means we are all human beings.
Everybody's included.
But now, for people to start it now, make it like something like everywhere in social media, like Black Life Matters, it is a sign that people are trying to show enough is enough.
There are people are fed up with these issues.
Black people have been living through pain for a long time. We are always being discriminated, not only in Germany, everywhere in the world. Why discriminated? We are not given the same opportunity like other people, because some white people or the system, I will not even talk about people, I will talk about system. Their system doesn't give us the opportunity to be at the same level with their own people. I'm living in Germany, and I will speak a little bit about Germany, what they are doing. Their system is trying to put us down. Every human being or every African you see, a young man, when entering Europe, have hope. One greener pasture.
Exactly.
They come always with their hope.
Yeah.
But they are not given that opportunity to pursue on their dreams, what they want. Now, what the problem is, like, when you come here, they persuade you.
Yeah.
When they frustrate you, it makes you physically weak. There will be a time you would like to force yourself to do some certain things, you cannot do it because psychologically, your psyche, you are already weak. So, Black Lives Matters is something that my understanding is like, it doesn't mean about color. It means giving opportunity to everyone.
Yeah.
To have the same share of the cake. And when somebody can come to your country, like Germany, anywhere, America or anywhere, they are part of the United Nations human rights.
Yeah.
They knows what they have signed with the United Nations. Human Rights Convention allow everybody to move wherever you want to move on, based on regulations, to be able to move to those places. But black people are living so long with this marginalization, not given the same kind of opportunity. This is what Black Lives Matters, my understanding, means. Like, what is happening in America is like black people, it's not even only in America. Just take your telephone and call the police and here right now and say, look, there is a black guy I have a problem with. They don't come with 1, 2 cars, they come with 5.
Yeah.
That is discrimination. Why? Because they see us like aggressive, brutal, which is not done. And our system in Africa also is not helping. Our governments are not helping us. The system that is created in Africa are not helping us. Because what you guys said is like, we also need to see how we can move. We can't do this individually, it has to be collective. And this has to start it from our own place where we come from. If I want to come to Germany, it takes me a lot of procedures. I have to go for a visa, I have to pay my visa fees, I have to do a lot of things. If a German wants to fly to Gambia, where I come from, you don't need a visa. You fly there and stay there for 3 months without paying any visa. And these people who are coming there, some of them are also criminals, they are pedophiles. Yeah. Who sleep with our children and do a lot of things. But our government, because they get this little money that they normally get from the European Union, they now become, when your government is a slave, make themselves a slave to the Western world. How would you think the Western world is going to treat your own citizens? They're going to treat them as low people. Africa should see its own potentials. Like, we are equal to any country in the world. Because resources-wise, Africa gets the most resources everywhere in the world. Germany doesn't have minerals. They don't. But why are they among the richest countries in the world? Because they have structures that they built that to be able to move on. And these structures are helping them. It will help them for generations. We don't have these things in Africa. All we have in Africa is like, you vote a politician in, come there, make himself rich, make his family rich and go. Doesn't care about the neighbors, what happened to them.
Doesn't care about
Which is a topic that we will talk about when we come to corruption and all those things, what is happening in Africa. But my message is like, when somebody is talking about Black Lives Matter, it's about having the same opportunity. Not being marginalized, because it's happening. It's really happening. Before you know this, write an application for a job and send it somewhere else. They look at names. This is happening in Germany. They look at names. If they see a name that is a German name, it's likely within a period of 5 days to get a call. My brother, if your name is an African name, an Arabic name, or another name, you are less likely to receive a call, which is happening in the system, and the system.
But you know what? In as much as I agree with you, I also disagree with you.
Okay.
You know, the point is this. In your own house, I would say that there is no way when you cook a food, you not first give it to your baby or your child.
Okay.
It's
the family first.
It's a natural logic.
Yeah. It's a natural logic.
You know, all things being equal, in this country there are Germans who have helped build the country. Their forefathers, their generations have paid tax in as much as...
I will pop in. It's not only built by the Germans.
Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm trying to say,
Okay.
what I'm trying to say is that if you pick every 1 out of 5 people that you pick in Germany here, their parents, half of their parents is coming from another country.
Yeah.
That is
You
the
have,
statistics.
for example, you have the Poland, you have the Tunisians,
Yeah,
you have the Marocs.
Yeah, if you pick any Germany, 5 people, Germans who are born here, you could see you take shit. The first, second generation, one of their parents is from outside. Refugees, I would say, people from other countries have helped build this country.
Exactly.
Right? But the notion of that these people are fond of causing trouble is embedded in some people's mind here. So it's like when they see you, they don't judge by your content, they judge you by your cover. You get it? They judge you by your cover.
They just judge you by your color.
Yeah.
They don't judge you by your projection.
I don't even want to use the cover. They judge you by your cover. Not the content. For instance, I can take the book of my brother. Yeah. I cannot just look at the book and say, hey, because it's covered as F, so it's straight away it's Facebook content thing, without opening it.
Without opening exactly what it is.
You need to give the person opportunity.
Sorry, can I come in?
Yeah.
I just want to clear something here before we go forward. When you mean if you have a child at home, you cook, you will give it to your child first. I think these people are not even doing that because I can have a child here, I'm an African. This child is born in this country, but it's not the same way treated like other people. A black guy born in Germany. My brother, sometimes I have discussion with people that there is no black German.
Yeah, I will agree with you, but on certain factors that there is no black German. Fine, this is true because they have this notion of exactly what you said that they first of all look at you. For example, you are applying for anything. They first of all look at your color. They look at you and they tell you to your age and they tell you that there is no black German.
That point, there is politics right now going on about it.
Yeah,
like people don't have to give their identifications or their pictures on when you are applying a job. It is something that's working on right now because they're trying to fight about that discrimination that's happening. You understand? It's like it's going to be a form of like a code or a number that you will use to apply for a job. All you need is your qualification need to be there. When they call you up for the job, it depends on them to take you on.
What about the names? If name written in your, you
understand?
cannot just submit your curriculum without a name inside. How is that possible?
I have a niece.
No,
I have a niece whose mother is German. All I know their generation are German. But the father is my brother, who's an African, so it's a mixed baby. She goes through a lot of discrimination sometimes. You can't tell me that that girl is not a German. She is. Her grandmother worked in this country. They contributed to build this country.
Yeah.
The mother worked and still working to build this country. But she will be sitting in a classroom. Somebody will be like, go where you come from. You understand? This is the reason why this Black Lives Matter message is all about. Yeah. It's not about us now. Maybe we can take care of ourselves. Yeah. But our children that are coming up, I want to be at peace when I know my child is on the street. It's not going to be shot by policemen. Yeah. It's not going to be discriminated by other people. I will have this peace of mind. But right now, what happens is if your child is out of your house, you're always scared. As a father, as a parent. Yeah. Because you don't know what's going to happen. What he said about statistics, that is half of what he said, what is happening right now. Yeah. Half of what the statistics give you. It's more, it doubles what is happening every day in our life. Right. Every day in our life, as a black person living in Europe or in America, especially in Germany where I'm living, you are discriminated. Yeah. Whether you know it or not. Sometimes I'm like, I don't take it positively. You know, there are things that you can see the positive side of it and see the negative side of it. Sometimes I try to take it positively, and I use the word envy. You understand? This is not about hate.
It's not hate.
This is about somebody envying who you are because they see a potential in you. African men or black people, there is nothing absolutely they can do. You see, human beings try to fool themselves. History teaches us every day. History is teaching us every day, and we are seeing it every day, but we still deny it. That's why, racism is not something that somebody is born with. It's something that is taught, that we teach somebody.
I agree with that.
Parents teach their children. Just look at children. It's the most example that we can all look from. Children will meet. It's too small. They don't know color. They will play. They will do anything together. But it's the parents now who will come and say, stop, don't play with that child. They are bad people. They are black people. They are dangerous people.
Can you please just tell us with your understanding of this system you're explaining to us, can you tell us the main reason why a parent would decide to teach his even generation unborn that you should hate people coming from this region? I really want to know.
One thing that I would say concerning that is that, sometimes too it's about protection. What? Let me tell you something. If I'm to put you in a jungle right now, you don't feel safe. Why? Because you think those there are animals and there is no human there.
Okay.
Do you get it? But live in the jungle for some time, you would then tend to feel safe. Right? The notion is sometimes it's like everyone is an instinct thing. I'm not talking about racism being an instinct thing. I'm talking about protection or reservation is an instinct thing. That's why they say there is safety in numbers. That's why they say there is safety in numbers. Right now, if you have a baby and you, the mother, in one way or the other, you've encountered a painful experience with a black guy, you would not in any way let your baby go close to the black guy.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Wait a little bit. You still have to add to that. But if you as a mother, for example, you have your own experience with a certain race, for example, and certain race, up to that certain race, you just had an experience with just one individual in that entire race. So how do you use this individual to justify the entire race, to just paint them, just black people and say, okay, fine, these certain individuals are bad people. Don't play with them. From the beginning, you start feeding your child all sorts of lies, all sorts of discriminations and hatred right from the beginning. So how do you say that you have a problem with an individual? Let's go straight. A certain black man, a woman had an experience with a certain black man, and you start feeding your child with issues things that are not even real, and you start telling your kids some stuff. How do you do that? That is.
Let me add up to that. What he just said. It's like when you said certain race, I think this is discrimination.
This is discrimination. Yeah.
I understand. I have a problem with an individual.
Exactly.
We can be any color. I don't care. But a child doesn't have to identify at that moment is black, white, Asian, or Arab, or whatsoever. If you do that as a parent, I will see my opinion like discriminating somebody. In white folks, white people, they are good people and bad people. It doesn't mean my experience with the one makes everybody bad.
Okay.
You understand? I have my experience as a person with white people, which he knows. Okay, if I want to see white people that way, then I will not be in peace with anybody. But I have some white people who are like parents for me. They don't give back to me, but they see me as a son. They see me as part of them. Their doors are open for me. They can do anything for me. So if I have to talk about my experience for my child, about white people, I would say Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. X is a black person. But I will not say white people, because this discrimination is where it comes. My message is we are talking about Black Lives Matter.
Exactly.
The message about Black Lives Matters is like being one.
Yeah.
Being seen one. So these barriers that we have to break them.
That's good.
How can we break those barriers? For children to see, the children that are coming up, like we are all human race.
Okay.
The same opportunity, the same life. If I have problem with Mr. X, I have problem with Mr. X. Not because it's an Asian or it's an Arab.
Okay.